Hey friend, I had a question for you. So, what would change in your life if you just had one part of your day that was completely protected, it was consistent, and it was just for you? What would that look like for you? Good news, friend. Today, we're going to talk about it. Today's episode, I want to talk about you and how we can create a space for your personal well-being so that you can excel in all areas of your life. Okay? This isn't about hustle. It's about creating a space so you can show up as the woman that you want to be. This is your Sunday Reset. Let's hop into today's episode.
All the wives and mommies managing life and companies, come and join in on her 360 podcast. Feel the life of the party on your own terms, don't be sorry. Come and join in on her 360 podcast.
Hey, so in today's episode, I want to talk with you about setting some personal intentions for yourself, specifically in the morning if you can. But if life is just so hectic that you can't get it in the morning, carving out space each and every day, 7 days a week, that is just for you, that has boundaries, that is consistent, something that you can look forward to, that is designed around helping you accomplish a personal goal so that you can perform at max, okay? I want to spend a little time talking about this because it's Sunday, and I'm going to leave you with today's conversation with just one thing that I think you can do that can help you execute this for the week so that you can start to make this a routine for yourself and hopefully see some positive results, all right? So before we hop into the meat and potatoes, let's do a little housekeeping because your girl is going on vacation this week, and I just want to make sure you know what content's going to look like for you here on Substack and on the podcast. So, you know that I'm keeping my promises that I made to you earlier this week. So I will be on vacation, kid-free, with the husband, out of the country, having a good time, enjoying my life this week. But I still plan, I have some scheduled content that's going to come out on Tuesday. It won't be live, but it'll be a video that's going to talk about some business stuff. So if you're not subscribed to Substack and you are listening here on the podcast, I'm going to leave the link to my Substack in the show description. Make sure you go and subscribe to Substack. It's going to be completely free. It's free right now. But on Tuesday, that's where some business stuff is going to come out. I'm going to look through some videos that I have on YouTube. Probably going to be talking about some content creation stuff or some automation. I'm not sure yet. I've got to plan that out when I get finished recording this episode. But that's going to satisfy Tuesday's conversation. And then on Friday, we'll probably do either another video. I know this past Friday, I released a publication for Father's Day, just honoring fathers. Not sure what that's going to look like, but those things will be happening on Substack. And then you'll have another episode next week to help kind of build on what we're talking about today. All right. So be sure you connect with me over there because that is the place where I am kind of engaging the other 2 times out of the week. And if you're there, then you get to stay connected and you get some additional help. But if you're not, then the only time you're going to hear from me is today and then next Sunday when I get back. So today I want to talk to you about a personal routine for yourself and something that you can do today, tonight, right now as you're listening to help you start to carve out time for yourself every day. I'm talking about 7 days a week if you are not already doing that. And one of the reasons why this is so important to me is because since I have been applying this practice in my life, I have seen some amazing benefits personally, professionally, and how I operate at home. So one of the things that I noticed about me, because I've been paying a whole lot of attention to me this past year or so, is that without a routine, I am always on the go and I'm always on. Like as structured as I am and as well planned as I am, I always feel like I'm catching up or I'm not ever performing at my max. So one of the things that I've been trying to incorporate for myself, and this is new, y'all, this has been within the last 45 days, is the ability to carve out time in the morning. For me, it is best suited in the morning. I've looked at my life. I know how things go. And I have said every day at 7:30 in the morning, my day is going to start for me. And I am going to carve out 7:30 to not take to 10:45. And I know that probably sounds like a whole lot of time. And in theory, it is, but I'm going to tell you what I'm doing in that time that helps me prepare, that helps me manage boundaries so that I can perform. So I'm going to tell you what my personal routine looks like. I'm going to tell you how I set boundaries. I'm going to talk with you a little bit about what's changed, how I've met my goals, and then I'm going to give you a challenge for you to do today that should help you be able to do the same thing. All right, y'all down for that? So first things first, what my personal routine looks like. So every morning, I am an early riser, but I am not an early talker, okay? So I might be awake at 5 o'clock in the morning, but I am not physically available to anybody except for maybe Tim, because I'm laying in the bed. And if he wakes up, we chit chat, or do whatever. But by 7:30, my feet are on the ground. And the reason why I choose 7:30 is because I want to make sure that that's consistent, whether the kids are in school or out. And with living in Texas, one of my personal goals right now is to improve my overall just wellness. So I'm trying to lose weight. I'm taking a GLP-1. There's some things that have to happen in order for me to maximize my results. And then I just want to clear my mind before the day starts. So every morning by 7:30, my feet are hitting the ground. And I have committed to myself every morning that I am going to walk between 3 to 4 miles every day, Monday through Friday, as a starting point. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm doing this. First of all, 3 to 4 miles gets me as close to that 10,000 step threshold that I need to be, so that if I don't get to 10,000 steps in the hour and 15 minutes that it takes me right now to walk 3 to 4 miles, I know that the rest of the day with the movement, the up and down and stuff, that I can get to that threshold. But I really try to dedicate at least an hour to an hour and a half of just walking in the morning, Monday through Friday, because that allows me to do nothing. I'm not opening emails before then. I'm not checking in on social media before then. I am doing nothing, okay? I'm clearing my mind on this walk. I am spending some time with Jesus on this walk. Sometimes if I have not really thought through what dietary things are going to look like, because I'm on a GLP-1, my family is not on the GLP-1. I try to do some meal prep with ChatGPT. I take that time in the morning to focus on nobody else but me. Nothing. Okay. If I can't get to the 4 miles or whatever, I wear my Apple Watch and I check my watch to see how much more movement I need to have. And then I try to work that in throughout the day. I have a mobile desk at home that I work from, so it's up and down. I haven't done this yet, but I am considering putting a walking pad in my office. If you all have a walking pad, I would love to know what your experience with that is. Drop down in the comments and let me know if you have one. I see them all over places like TikTok and stuff, but I want real feedback from somebody that's really using it and how it's helped. But basically from 7:30 to 8:30, no later than 8:45, 9 o'clock. I'm working towards being at home by 9. I am walking, not doing anything but anybody but me. Okay. That's Monday through Friday. On the weekends, it is a little bit more difficult, especially during the summertime. We have summer track on Saturdays. So we're up before the ass crack of dawn, driving all over the place. So usually on the weekends, depending on what Saturday looks like and how we come home, if I have time, I'll be able to get out in the evenings. But if not, then, I know that Saturdays is kind of the day that I don't get those steps in. Not in that manner anyway, because we have athletes. Usually we're going up and down bleachers. We're walking across the stadium, getting her to where she needs to be. So I try to be as cognizant about my movement goals on Saturdays, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not. On Sundays, we get up as a family, we go to church. In the evenings on Sundays, what I've been trying to do is get out in the evening after the sun has went down. It's the summertime right now, so it's extremely hot here in Texas. But I try to get out in the evenings, and on Sunday evenings, I am willing to, and when I say willing, when we talk about boundaries, you're going to understand what that means in a minute. I am willing to like say, hey, Tim, you want to go walk with me? Because that allows us to connect before the week starts and just to be with each other. No children, not spending money like on date nights or anything like that. Just kind of being out and about, dilly-dallying. You know, he's supporting my weight loss journey. This gives him time to do some moving around and exercise. You know, we might hold hands, we might talk, we might play, whatever. But, you know, we're killing a couple of birds with a few stones while we're out there. And we just have a moment to reconnect, talk about what the week looks like, especially if he's traveling and stuff like that, and really get our week together as a couple. The main idea here is that I protect this time in the morning, that walk time. And then if I get home and it's no later than like 9 o'clock, I'm coming home, I'm preparing like my protein coffee. I'm getting showered up, getting myself ready for the workday. And I know that it sounds like I have a lot of time, but Monday through Friday, I don't start my workday any earlier than 11 o'clock. And we'll talk about what that looks like in boundaries in just a second. But the main idea here is that I'm protecting that time like it's a paid appointment, because it is. It pays me back. It pays me back in peace. It pays me back in clarity. It pays me back in energy. It pays me back in motivation. Like, there is so much to gain from carving out that time and being a boundary warrior about that time, that it is highly rewarding and worth every bit of tension it may cause when it comes down to you setting your boundaries in order to get this done. So speaking of boundaries, let's talk about that, okay? So it would be impossible for me to be able to carve out this time for myself if I did not include the people around me that are going to be affected by this, okay? I have decided that during this time, I'm not taking a dog on a walk. It's the summertime. I'm not taking my kids with me. Like, it's just me and the pavement, okay? I'm not talking to my team. I'm not checking emails. I'm not doing any of that. I am just out doing what I need to do for me. And I've communicated that to everybody around me. And here's what that communication looks like. Husband, Tim, 7:30, I got to hit the door, okay? I don't care what you got going on. I got to go. If these kids need something during that time, you on board. If you're here, and if not, then whatever they need is going to have to be scheduled after that time. Any appointments or anything like that, they don't get to go to those before 9 a.m., okay? Because that's for me. When school starts, everybody is at the bus. The little one is at the bus by 7 o'clock. So, you know, the middle school, when she can take care of herself, get to the bus by 8 o'clock. You don't need me during that 7:30 to 9 o'clock time. It's just for me, and I ain't sharing it, okay? Are you okay with that? Yeah, babe, I'm cool with that. Go do your thing. Great. Kids, don't ask me for nothing. I ain't cooking breakfast. It is breakfast in there. And this works for me because I ain't cooking breakfast, okay? I have breakfast in there. I have children that are capable for cooking for themselves and making sure that the little one eats. If you are up, especially during the summertime, if you are up this early, you fending for yourself, okay? I'll be back at 9. Don't call me unless the house is burning down. You'll be fine, okay? I'm in the neighborhood. Y'all got my location, but leave me alone. In the summertime, it works well. Most of the time, the kids ain't trying to be bothered, and I ain't got to fight with nobody. The dog, I ain't walking you right now. You know, my son is still here, so he walks her. When he leaves, we'll make adjustments, but it won't be in that 7:30 to 9 o'clock hour. Either my husband can do it, or we'll find a time to walk her afterwards, but it won't be in my time, okay? As far as work is concerned, I control my calendar. Everything is automated. If you were to go to my calendar to try to schedule some time with me, you ain't getting on my calendar before 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, okay? And I don't schedule any appointments with clients before 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you need me before 11, I'm so sorry, I am not available. Those are my business hours. I work from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. is when I will allow myself to schedule a meeting. If you need me outside of those work hours, I am not available. I don't have team members. You can message me on Teamwork. You can send me an email, but that does not mean that I am going to respond. My first communication with anybody is at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and that's okay. And I don't apologize for it, and I just do it. And nobody has a problem with that. As long as what I've learned is that as long as you communicate with people, they understand. And the more I protect my space in that manner, the more I have to give in other ways because I'm fulfilled. Okay. Now, I haven't always been like this. This hasn't always been the thing. But since I've incorporated, I've went through phases in life where when I was younger, I was really a stickler about this. Then we moved and stuff got all chaotic and I kind of got loose as far as this concerned. But when I went back to this a few months back, clarity just started dropping on me like nobody's business. Okay. I was grouchy before, or I was tired, sluggish, couldn't really figure out what was going on. But since I've carved out that time and know that daily, this is the time that I have to do what I need to do. Right now it's walking. That doesn't mean that it's always going to be that, but I know that I've carved out that time for nobody but me. I have something to look forward to every day. I'm very clear about what's going to happen. I'm not irritable. With the kids, I've got a lot more decisive as far as business is concerned. I'm a lot more clear, concise in my delegation. I don't feel like I'm behind. I truly feel like I'm controlled and motivated. You know, I know it almost sounds unrealistic to start your day at 11, but that's the reason why we go into business. We go into business to create a company that supports our lifestyle. I do not subscribe to the hustle all day, wear yourself out. I didn't go into running a company to do that to myself. I went into running a business so that I can earn with no potential max on my income and to create a life that I truly enjoy. And in order to do that, that means I have to define what that is. And for me, this is it right now. So it almost seems unrealistic, but starting my day at 11 has made me more productive, not less. I get more done by starting my day later and carving out the first part of the day for me than I did when I was just running on fumes and allowing my day to kind of manage me, okay? So this has helped me reach personal goals as far as weight loss is concerned. It doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It feels like it's just a part of what I'm doing. And I have gotten so excited about this because daily I weigh in and daily I see a difference, and that even weigh-in says, okay, put your shoes on, chick, and let's hit the door, okay? I pitch for content creation, so sometimes when I'm walking, I'm a lot more creative. I'm like, ooh, I could do this or I could do that, and I'm making notes in my phone, and I'm just focusing on the stuff that feels good, and I can come in and I feel closer to God because I'm outside. And if there's something on my heart, I'm talking to him about it. If I'm just praying, I'm able to be more strategic about how I'm asking for his covering for myself and my family. There's so many benefits to just my mind being free that I am now seeing the positive benefits to that. And I truly contribute that to having this structure in place because before then it was not this. Okay. So enough about me. And I want to keep this episode short. Okay. Here's what I want you to do. If you are anything like me and beforehand you were struggling, trying to figure out how to get a grasp of your day and feeling like you just didn't have the time to do anything for yourself, like you're giving and not being able to get anything in return or not feeling fulfilled, here's what I want you to do, okay? I want you to pull your phone up and look at your calendar right now. I want you to define one thing that you want to do consistently for yourself, and it doesn't have to be long, okay? I'm talking whether it's 10 minutes of journaling, whether you're going to say, okay, I need to move my body, maybe stretch during the day. I want to read more, whatever it is, okay? I want you to look at your calendar And I want you to block off the time for that and make it a reoccurring event. And I need you to choose a time that's going to be realistic, that you can commit to. And if something else is in that time, I need you to figure out how you're going to move that thing out of that time to somewhere else. And I don't care if it's a client meeting. I don't care if it is a meeting that you have to do with your job. If you work from home, if you have the flexibility. If there is something in the space that you want to be the space for you, we need to figure out how to rearrange that. Even if it can't be done right away, put this on your calendar and make it reoccurring. Okay. And once you've done that, I want you to communicate that with any and everybody that's going to be affected by what you do. Your spouse, your children, your team members, your customers, whomever. And with your customers, I'm going to be real honest. I am not telling my customers, oh, I'm not answering you before 11 o'clock because in the morning I'm taking care of me. I'm just saying, hey, I'm not available. These are my working hours. This is when you'll hear from me. And I haven't had an issue with it. Never, ever have I had an issue with it. So you got to communicate what this is and make sure that people understand that if you ask me to do something in this time, the answer is going to be no. I'm not trying to be mean, but I am blocking off this time for me so I can be a better me and be a better me to you. Okay. It doesn't have to be long. It just needs to be protected. Okay. For me, I'm able to not do any work until 11 o'clock, but I'm doing a lot of personal work before 11 o'clock. Maybe you don't have that much time. Maybe all you have is 10 minutes. Again, it doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be protected. Okay. Can you do that? Put it on your calendar right now. Make it reoccurring. And when it pops up, and set an alarm in your phone. And when that alarm goes off and it reads your personal time, I need you to go and do the thing that you have scheduled for yourself to do in the time that you have scheduled for yourself to do it. Make it a habit, make it a practice. And I'm not saying it's going to be perfect all week. You might struggle a little bit, but we need to set the intention and what that needs to look like so that you can at least have something to work towards. All right? Here's the deal. You cannot pour from an empty cup. But you can create a routine that fills your cup, okay? If you're willing to do this, and once you've done it, please head over to Substack, shoot me a message underneath this post, or you can shoot me a DM over on Instagram. I would love to. Don't shoot me a DM on Instagram. Go to Substack and leave the comment up under the post. Let's be realistic. I'm not going to check that DM. But if you leave me a comment on Substack, I'll see it. And I want to celebrate you. And if you leave me a comment on Substack, you're going to be amongst a whole nother group of women that we're all working towards the same thing. And we can root each other on, because that is what being our sister's keeper is all about. All right. Share this with a friend. I know you know another mom boss that needs some encouragement. And go, again, put this in your calendar and set the alarm. All right. That's your Sunday reset for today. Make sure you share this with a friend. Make sure you commit to yourself for the week. And I will follow up with you next week to see how you're doing and talk about some other ways that we can start to prioritize what we need to do for ourselves so that we can be dynamic for the people that are in our lives. Thanks for listening. I hope today helped, and I will see you in next week's episode. Bye, friend.